أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. I begin this presentation invoking the name of the most merciful, the mercy giver. And I would like to begin by thanking all of you for being here this evening. Of course, some of you had other things to do, and obviously you put aside those other things and you made it here, so that is very much appreciated. On the second order of clarification, I see that there are two cameras here. I don't know, it hasn't been explained to me what the recordings are all about. I have no problems with that. I just want to make it clear that because the subject matter is a very controversial one, and the ideas that you are going to be listening to are not mainstream ideas, therefore they become, in some quarters, fuel for troublemakers. And because of that, I request from those of you who are recording this, that if you are going to use it, you are not allowed to use it selectively. In other words, I disagree with a partial presentation of what I'm going to say. You're more than welcome to present it anywhere, at any time, in total. That being said, the subject matter that we are speaking about, obviously, is the what is called the Palestinian-Israeli conflict. And the Palestinian-Israeli conflict is not going away. In the recent past, we had other conflicts in the world, and more or less, they've simmered down. Some of us can remember the conflict in Northern Ireland, and the many years and the many casualties that it took to finally recede into a state of normalcy, almost. Many of us remember the conflict in South Africa, the apartheid system there, and the official policies of racial discrimination and segregation. Many years took a toll on the population of South Africa. There was a struggle there between a racist regime and a people who wanted to assume political responsibilities for their future. And it worked out into what became, in the early 90s, a system that is free from apartheid or racial separation among the four official races that were there as classified by the government. These were some of the major chronic conflicts that we in our lifetime were privy to. Unlike these two conflicts, the conflict in the Holy Land is not showing a potential or a possibility of resolution. And this has to do with an obvious clash of two mentalities or two ways of life. One of them represented by Zionism and imperialism on one side, and the other one represented by native populations that happen to have an Islamic character that goes beyond being just a religion, but also an ideology and a political program for people of that faith. I don't know the ideological or the religious makeup of my audience this evening. I assume that some of you are Muslims, some of you are Christians, and some of you are Jews. Before I begin to express myself on the sensitive details of this issue that is polarizing the world, I would like to say that in whatever you're going to hear, and please listen to me as objectively and as open-mindedly as you can, but in whatever you're going to hear, there is absolutely no scintilla of disrespect for the faith of those who are Jewish, and those who are Christian, and those who are Muslims. Absolutely none whatsoever. I hold all three religious convictions in high esteem and in all regard. Let me begin by going through a timeline of sorts pertaining to the buildup of what has become the Arab-Israeli conflict, Palestinian-Israeli conflict, or what is becoming more and more an Islamic Zionist conflict. In 1897, there was a World Zionist Congress that was convened in Basel, Switzerland. And the objective of that conference was to offer people of the Jewish faith a place that they can call their country. What turned out to be a call for a country for the Jewish people in the coming half a century after that was the colonization of Palestine. In 1917, that's 20 years after the Jewish meeting in Basel, there was a declaration by Lord Balfour in what was called at the time Great Britain that promised the Jews a homeland. Now, up until this moment, whether it is the Jewish people having a country or the Jewish people having a homeland, there is no serious conflict. I think all people of the world are entitled to settle in the land that they think in historical or religious or cultural or even in some sorts of ideological interpretations, the homeland of that particular people.